guys, welcome back. Thank you to those of you who have been supporting my channel, and shout out to any new subscribers. I wanted to do something a little bit different. I don't know if it's going to become a regular thing or not, but I guess it will depend on feedback. So if you follow me on Instagram or even on Twitter, you've probably seen that I tend to post workout videos, exercise videos, exercise posts, pictures, etc. And so I wanted to just kind of maybe start posting some videos of that on my YouTube channel. The videos I post on Instagram are obviously very short, trim them down a lot, but I thought if I start posting some of those things on YouTube on my channel, then maybe I can kind of talk about it, go in a little bit more in depth about the workout. Now, as a disclaimer, disclosure, whatever, I am not a fitness professional. I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a medical professional. So these are not intended to be, medical advice or anything like that. So this is just me working out in my garage at home, doing my workouts and just sharing it. That's it. So don't take this as any kind of professional. This is not intended to be any kind of professional advice or anything like that. Just disclaimer. Okay. So this workout I did yesterday at the time of making this video. And if you do follow me, you probably have noticed that I tend to do a lot of workouts that focus on lower body. I do things like, I also like to do weightlifting. I do body weight workouts. I do a variety of stuff. But this workout in particular was lower body centric, focused on lower body. So the first movement was a barbell hip thrust. Now I do like hip thrusts, barbell. I also do other ones too. Typically I do pretty heavy barbell thrusts, hip thrusts, but it depends on the amount of sets, the amount of reps, of course. Of course, with any weightlifting movement, it's important to keep in mind, your form, and that's really important, listening to your body. I totally believe in that. For this particular set, I did 3 sets of 8. Usually my sets are a little bit bigger if it's only 3 sets, but since I did several movements in this workout yesterday, I kept it to a lower number of reps, and it was at 155 pounds. For me, that's what I was comfortable with personally. And I also kept it at lower reps because I didn't just do standard reps. I did 1 and like a quarter rep. So if you notice, I'm not just doing 1 all the way down and up. I'm doing 1 and then kind of like a quarter or a halfway down and back up again. So that counts as 1. So it feels like you're doing more than 1 because you kind of are. So that's why I kept it at a lower rep count. I've tried 2 different variations of barbell hip thrusts. The first one I tried was pause, pausing at the top of the rep. Those were brutal, and these were pretty brutal too. So I'm learning that variations of barbell hip thrusts hurt. Not in a bad way, but you really feel it for sure. So after I got done with those, and also I'm not including any of my warm-up movements in this video, so don't think I just jumped into doing this. No, I warm up before every workout. Of course, that's the safest thing to do, warming up, especially with weightlifting movements. But all workouts for sure, you should warm up, in my opinion. So then I moved on to deficit reverse lunges. So deficit meaning that I'm standing up on something, and then when I put my leg back to lunge, it's a little bit lower of a level. So I did 3 sets of 12 total, not 12 each side. So 6 each side, 12 total. For these, I'm not focusing on going fast, just slow, controlled. You don't have to hit your knee on the floor. That's probably not a good thing anyway. That's not good for your knees. I mean, of course, with any of these things, you can add variations. You can add weight if you want to, like dumbbells in your hands, or, a higher deficit, a lower deficit. You don't have to do deficit. Lunges is one of those movements for me that anytime I do them, no matter if I have weight or not, most of the time I don't, but sometimes I do. No matter what, I always feel sore and effective. I feel the effect from lunges for sure, all the time. So again, 3 sets of 12 for those, 12 total. After that, I moved on to single leg deadlifts. I did 3 sets of 7 each side, so 3 sets of 14 total. These did have a little bit of weight. That's a 25-pound plate that I'm holding. With these, it's good to be, for me, I like to be standing next to something that I can kind of maybe hold on to or catch myself on. This one I wasn't standing next to something immediately I could catch myself on, but sometimes if my legs are feeling a little too jelly, I will stand and hold on to something. So if you feel like you need to do that, then do that. There's also, I've done variations where you can kind of put your other leg up on a bench or something to have better balance and more control. Or you can just not do any weight or lighter weight, whatever is comfortable for yourself. And as you see, I also have my arm out. That helps me keep my balance as well. So after that, let's move on to the in-out banded hip thrust. This I did 3 sets of 10. I had never done this variation of hip thrust before. Like I said, I do barbell ones. I do different ones, with a band as well. For this one, I had never done where at the bottom, you start with your knees in, and then when you come to the top, as you come to the top, pushing your knees out, kind of like an abduction movement, but you're adding the hip thrust movement in there with it. So I did 3 sets of 10 of those, and really trying to add the tension in the resistance band, pushing out. Obviously, if you feel a discomfort or your knees, I was worried that my knees would start hurting with this one just because of the in-out movement, but they didn't for me. So I like those. I'll probably start doing those more. That was the first time I had tried them. After that, I moved on to the bent to straight reverse hyper. I did 3 sets of 10 of this one also. I have done this movement a number of times during workouts. For me, this is how, it's not the most comfortable movement just because you're kind of smashing yourself holding onto the bench, because you do need to have a good grip on the bench. It looks like a lower body movement, which it is, but I really feel like my whole body's engaged when I do this movement, because I'm squeezing to keep myself firm and tight on the bench. And then of course, starting with my legs being bent in towards the bench and kind of lifting and straightening them out. They're not completely straight as you see in the video, but just going from a bent to a more straightened out, into an out movement. And then the last movement I did was another banded movement, but this was banded hip abduction. So just simple pushing out, keeping tension with the hip band. I did 3 sets of 20 for this one, just because I felt like I could do that many reps. That's what I felt comfortable with yesterday. So again, trying to keep my core tight and not caving on my core, keeping my back straight. With most of these movements, I try to focus on keeping my back straight, keeping my head and my spine neutral, so not arching back like this. Sometimes when you're lifting heavy, that does tend to happen because you're you're pushing your body to that limit. But doing these movements, I really try to focus on keeping my back straight. And squeezing with your core is important for any lifting movement, as I've learned. Keeping my head neutral. Sometimes when I go back and watch videos, I'll notice that I'm kind of moving my head around, so I try not to do that. Even if it's not a heavy lifting movement, just even a body weight movement, just important to keep in those type of habits. So this was a good, this workout was a mixture of weight, lighter weight, single leg, bands, resistance bands. So it was kind of a mixture of a lot of different things for lower body. But again, this was not meant to be any kind of professional advice, just my personal experience and, what I try to focus on during these workouts. So I hope you enjoyed that workout. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see you probably have seen the shorter version of this with no commentary. I don't put commentary with my videos on Instagram. But let me know if you enjoyed this kind of video, and if you would like to see more of these videos on my channel. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate it. And if you're new and you enjoy my channel, or you've checked out my other videos, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're aware when I am posting a new video. But thank you guys so much for your support, and we'll see you guys next time.